Welcome to the Dashless Report, Week 1 reviews. I'm your host, Bobby Morabia, with Dweck and NRJ. Guys, what can we say? It was an unbelievable opening day yesterday. Wasn't the greatest weather, but a lot of action on the field. And we had some scores yesterday that were conducive for football games.
Yeah, I'll tell you. The bats were out early and often yesterday.
Yeah, we had so many stories to uncover, so many on the field, off the field. We'll start off first with the Maurice's Pieces versus the Schulman organization called The Situation. And guys, we all sat here a month ago and picked Maurice's Pieces to go all the way. And lo and behold, they opened the season with 12th round pick Red Nesser. So you'd think it was going to be some heavy duty runs scored, and he pitched a shutout.
Yeah.
61-year-old Red Nesser pitched a shutout against the team that was supposed to go all the way. So a lot of stories. Norman, you can start us off and tell us what exactly went wrong with you and your team.
Well, actually it was a combination of a few things. The first inning started off with Maurice's Pieces, first two men getting on base, so it looked like it was on. It looked like we'd be scoring runs, by the touchdown, 7 at a time. And basically the Maurice's Pieces middle and bottom of the lineup was really had a rough day. I would say, besides for maybe Leo Pachotto and Eddie Rishti at top of the lineup, I would say not one person on that team had a good offensive outing. Also, don't forget, on the other end of the field, the defense was very sloppy. A lot of people were out of position because Jeffrey Sacker wasn't there. So our first baseman pitched, our short center played first base, etc., etc., etc. Some outfield issues. So it was definitely a rough week. Can't sugarcoat that.
But noted on the Jeffrey Sacker not being there, but to not score runs, really has nothing to do with the pitching of Jeffrey Sacker. You wouldn't think you'd be shut out.
To not score a run against anybody in softball,
slow pitch softball,
is pathetic. To not score a run against Red.
That could be his first career shutout. It's got to be the first shutout in 30 or 40 years.
It's his first shutout since the 72 season. We looked it up. Okay. Red carries an AARP card, and we didn't score a run off of him in game 1. So there's no excuse.
By the way, I want a correction on all this, by the way. Robert Red Nesser, last year, in the one-game playoff,
he pitched a shutout?
He pitched a shutout. He pitched a gem to get his team into that final playoff spot. So he's got, I don't know what he's got left. He's got, he puts on some games that are masterpieces, and people just write him off, and he continues to battle and battle. But
I think he was extra motivated by the fact he came to the field and made the announcement that he just bought 5 pairs of Lee jeans online at Boscovs.com for under $100 total the morning of the game. So he was very excited when he showed up.
So there it is.
I don't know what's more impressive, the fact that he got him at such a good price, or that he knows how to buy online.
Does he have a computer? I didn't know he had a computer.
No, he does. Rob Nesser, Yahoo.com. So if you want to reach him, for all his fans out there. But really, I know, Maurice Haber obviously not too thrilled with the start of the season, with such high expectations on his organization. But
and he's a great hitter in his own right, and I don't believe he had a hit. I think he went 0 for 7 yesterday. So they're going to need him to pitch in, definitely, to bring in the runs from Leo and Eddie Rishti setting the table.
Again, Jeffrey Sacker wasn't there. I'm sure that's going to change the whole situation when he's back. But on the other hand, the Situation team, they really solidified themselves with the help of Douglas Dweck with a trade that has a lot of people scratching their heads on that trade, and solidified that defense, and they look like a team. If Red just holds on, that team is going to be very tough to beat. Solly Shahabar looked like Craig Nettles at third base yesterday. They have an outfield of Jared, Adam, and Friedman.
I heard that Jared was super. He playing left field now. Jared, from center to left.
Adam played.
I heard he was excellent in left yesterday.
Their outfield yesterday was airtight. You couldn't, if you hit the ball in the air to the outfield, doesn't matter if it was in the gaps or anything. They tracked it down.
Oh, they're young and they're fast. So I mean, that's going to be a very tough team to beat. And now if Red is just doesn't walk anybody, they're going to look like a tough team with defense. So that could be something to look into. Yeah,
a positive and a negative to add to that team is that at third base, Big Soul, he turned back the clock maybe 15 years. He was making diving catches and getting up to his feet and accurate throws, play after play after play, maybe 4 or 5 great plays. On the other hand, the guy who just got traded to that team, Max Sutton, played a very, very poor shortstop yesterday, and Red was able to overcome that. So maybe Douglas knew something that the rest of the league didn't, but Max could not field a routine ground ball yesterday.
Oh boy. Well, that's unlikely. I'm sure Max is going to bounce back because he's a solid shortstop for a long time, so I'm sure he'll be...
but they won despite that. So
they won despite that. Red buckled down.
They're, after the draft, a lot of people looked at Schulman's team and said that's the weak team in the league, one of the weak teams certainly. But they really, with a trade and their defense and some young stars, they're going to be a tough team the rest of the way I see it. So, and I'm sure Maurice's pieces are going to bounce back. And
we play next week. It's nice to know who's going to play. We can preview a little...
I think we play the Moses team that doesn't have Moses anymore.
Oh, you're playing Eddie Michon's team. So that's who went wild yesterday on the against Ali Marshall. Really were bombing him. So, I mean, that day, they surprised a lot of people with their offense. But we'll get to that game a little bit later.
Now Schulman have next week?
Schulman... I don't have the schedule in front of me.
All right, we'll get back to that.
We'll get that. Right now, we're going to have a little commercial break and a word from our sponsors. I could always edit this, guys. Yeah. All right, so what should we...
It's good to know. We should know that. Looking forward, they have this, they have that.
Yeah, we can always preview... we can preview next week's game.
Yeah. You can hit a little games, Later on the season becomes
more key. You can't ask him questions on the spot that he doesn't know the answer to.
But I still not play.
What do you think you know the schedule by heart?
Yeah, I know most of the guys. We play most of the
To be fair,